Let's do this. The bottom right-hand side, our blue Terran player is Cass, going up against the red Terran. To the upper left from Team Liquid, it is uThermal. TvT to wrap up the day. So again, just to kind of put in perspective the score lines right now, uThermal is 2-0. So actually, I'm going to tell you guys the results of Hellraiser Eon Blue and uThermal Eon Blue. Those two matches were already played. Hellraiser Eon Blue and uThermal Eon Blue were both 2-0s in favor of Hellraiser and uThermal. So going through the scores now, Hellraiser will be 1-3. Who's that with the bitty bits? Winch Dude, thank you so much for the 500 bits. You can get your decoration for the tree after this game as well. For your lovely support. Thank you so much for the 500 bits. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Some love in the chat for Winch Dude. Go uThermal, he says. Let's go uThermal. So yeah, where was I at? Yes, so the scores right now in the group. Eon Blue 0-4, last place. Hellraiser will be 1-3, so he's also eliminated. So Cass, TLO, and uThermal advance. So uThermal, TLO cannot finish in first place because TLO has a scoreline of has a map score of 6-4, and if uThermal loses here, even 0-2, he'll have a better map score than TLO. So TLO cannot advance in first. So it becomes uThermal and Cass. Cass is 2-1, uThermal 3-0. So if Cass beats uThermal, he'll go to 3-1. Now, if he beats uThermal, can he advance at all? Yes. So Cass can advance first in this group if he 2-0s uThermal, because by going 2-0, he'd be 7-3 in maps, and uThermal would be 6-2. Which means they've both got a 4 map score difference, but then in head-to-head, Cass would have beaten uThermal. So it is very possible for Cass to finish first place in this group if he wins 2-0. uThermal, to finish in first place in this group, just has to win a map. That's all he has to do, and he will advance out of this group in first, go straight to the qualifying match for the global playoffs, basically. Reaper from Cass chased away up to the top side of the map now. It's chased all the way away. There's a couple of Reapers from uThermal given coming in hot pursuit at the moment, as we do see the Cyclone popping out, and he is looking to try and help to catch this Reaper, and it will go down. Locked on and taken down. Boom! Reaper Grenade misses everything as well. Early game TvT, both players with their expansions finishing up or finished. Cass was on a faster expand, but it means uThermal had that faster start port, which is going to go onto a reactor. Is it? Really? Well, on the other side, Cass has got 4 Hellions to fight against the Reaper. Well, the 2 Reapers and the Cyclone. The Cyclone's actually in trouble, though. If the SCV is helping out, they got rid of the bunker, but that's about it. Not really a great trade-off for uThermal there, losing units, and not really much gained at all. As we do have the starport from Cass finishing up on the top side of the map. And this medevac going to get ready to maybe fly across towards the main. He hasn't got the Hellion count now to really kind of do much with that, though. He has to wait for 2 more Hellions to pop, so it's a little delayed, but obviously uThermal gave up some units, so it kind of still works out in that regard. Medevac is moving down just a little bit here. And we have got the 4 Hellions coming across. They're going to be jumping up into that Medevac and already getting set to go across into the main base. So Medevac going to unload here in the next few moments. And 4 Hellions going to get roasting away in this mineral line. uThermal has no idea about this, so nothing prepared to deal with it. Boom, 2 SCVs immediately, and this is going to increase from here. SCV's a little bit lined up. He tries to stop that just a little bit. 8 workers now dead, but that'll be all. With 3 Hellions left, they no longer one-shot SCVs, so it's very difficult for them to get a lot more damage done. They will find maybe this last one here. So 10 workers. Well, it is pretty good, let's be fair. 10 workers is very good, as Cass now also has a Liberator and takes a 6-worker lead already. Coming in with this Liberator now. Well, there is 2 Vikings nearby. A couple of SCVs are nearby. We'll just run away, turn away. 1 or 2 SCVs did go down, though, unfortunately. So it's 12 workers killed, all said and done. Cass is signing out of this aggression with a 9-worker lead. And back at home, he is just going to set up a bunker, get ready to deal with the counterattack, and just build up into a position now which should be advantageous for him. uThermal has a third CC a bit faster, which will help him recover a bit of this deficit though. And so with a third CC already up, uThermal will take that to kind of aid him here, as we see, while extra barracks thrown down from Cass, he's going to be playing some bio. In the meantime, uThermal throwing down another factory is going to be playing some mech. So we're going to see mech versus bio, the classic clash of Terran versus Terran compositions here. If I had to pick one, I mean, really? I don't know, actually. I've always loved playing bio, but I feel like playing against mech, I always hate playing against mech. But the game is very different now, the way that the Viking Liberator and the kind of the air battles work. uThermal continues to get SCVs across here. I don't know if that's a scout or if he just keeps misrallying them or what, but does end up with an SCV over here that is eventually going to get picked off, but maybe not in the immediate future. Finally goes down. Yeah, mech's kind of weird nowadays because it is that kind of different style where even if you play bio against mech, you play it very differently than you used to, because a lot of the kind of basics and the fundamentals are there, but that air control is it was always important, but now it's important in so many different ways with liberators and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm not sure what was up with that SCV, because I feel like that was the second SCV we've just seen wandering into the natural expansion, and like the first one was like, okay, he's scouting, and the second one I was like, what? So, yeah, as we do see Cass, well, he's going to try and take what he feels is an advantage and push a little bit with it. I feel uThermal at the moment is set up safely enough to be pretty okay here. He's also got the tanks mostly positioned on the left side, so if Cass does try and go up a ramp, it will not be pretty for him at all. So Cass really does just have to sit back for the moment, give uThermal some space. Oh, I mean, he's doing pretty well. I mean, Liberator shows up, 3 more kills. Vikings will come in and pick that off. It's a little bit of a dance around as the Vikings try and find it. It is coming back in and across. Will Siege up in time to do any real damage here? I think maybe one SCV goes down. Okay, getting very far forwards. If it's sieged up like here, maybe get one SCV only just, but it was it came very far forwards before sieging, so a little bit of a mistake. But well, uThermal maybe actually feels good to kind of push on the map himself. He is moving forwards. There's no stim just yet from Cass, so if there is ever a time for uThermal to take a fight, it would be while there's no stim, because obviously a lot of the Cass units here are as weak as they're ever going to be. As soon as stim finishes up, these units become so much better. Liberators are going to siege on top of this as well as the tanks. Going to start firing at the Liberators. What do they target down, though? The Vikings are going to land on top of the tanks as well. Oh, uThermal is actually going to clean up all of this very effectively as well. uThermal, what a fight! Just before stim is done too, he's going to keep pressing forwards. Vikings on the ground to help out. Tanks will siege. Marines stimming in, though, and the tanks are pretty spread out, actually, which means that they're not getting all of the shots they wanted right away. And now there are a couple of, I mean, there's only 2 tanks left, which is not too scary. Only 2 Vikings as well. Though that goes up to 4 now. Drops down here. He will clean up on the ground. A couple of Vikings will still be chasing. And they did get the medevac. So in fairness, actually not so bad still from uThermal. Even being cleaned up, he found a little bit more value in his units. So that was still all good. A couple more factories coming up here from uThermal as he goes into the 5 factories in total. The Vikings all the way up to the top side now, as we do see Cass with a wall off of barracks here. I love it. I mean, obviously the wall off of barracks is the idea of not letting Hellions run by this base. Obviously, as the game goes by, for a mech player, running by Hellions is one of the most important things you can do to try and slow down the bio player, and it's one of your main ways to keep the bio player back at home, to keep him thinking about defending, rather than him just being all over the map and utilizing what really is a very advantageous kind of mobility that bio player gets. So that's something which uThermal would like to do, run by those Hellions, but Cass is going to shut that down from the get-go. Now there's only 2 entranceways. Yes, 1 over here if you want to hit this base as well. That's very easily kept an eye on. Cass can very easily defend that, I think. 10 minutes in game, and we're really setting up into that classic mech bio matchup. We're really getting into the thick of it now. As you see these couple of tanks going to siege up, I mean, well, Vikings come in and they are going to get rid of the medevac, so now you're going to have to keep on scanning to keep the high ground vision. Tanks trying to target down SCVs on this mineral patch here, but that's all they can reach. Another scan maybe as these tanks come in. I think uThermal's going to get the target fire, and boom, he's going to blow both of these tanks up, no problem at all. And even a couple of Marines as well. The scan comes in from Cass just a moment too late, and uThermal gets a little bit of decent revenge for what was lost there. One thing I'm a little bit worried about for uThermal is he hasn't got an armor. He hasn't got any sort of mech upgrades on the way. He's got an armory, obviously. He's been using Hellbats, but he hasn't started any upgrades at all, and I just can't help but feel that it's a mistake, if nothing else. I mean, even just letting the kind of the air units not be upgraded here. That's what Cass is already setting up towards. He isn't getting +1 vehicle plating for the good of his siege tanks. He's getting +1 vehicle plating because it'll help the tanks a little bit, but most importantly, it's going to help his Vikings when he makes that switch into air units, which almost always does come around from a Bioterran playing against mech. There's those Hellions starting to run across the map. uThermal knows that this is a sensor towered base. The issue is he doesn't know that it's fully walled off just yet, and that is something he'll find out in a moment here. And he realizes that, well, I mean, he can still run them by up into this direction. He finds a Marauder at the moment with Blue Flame. I mean, doesn't really affect Marauders, but he'll pick off that Marauder, loses a couple Hellions, gets away with the other few, and again, that's Cass's wall off there, really paying out for him. Cass pulling up top with a few more bio units, and they're going to get ready to press in towards this third base. Here we go, big stim forwards. Tanks already firing away quite heavily. Oh my god, those tanks are in a lot of trouble. Liberator sieges up, gets taken down right away. Cass does a lot here, but his bio does go very low on health. No high ground vision, which means these tanks will win this fight as well. uThermal will be able to take that fight down, although, okay, yeah, he gets 2 tanks for 1. Has to lift up the base though and evacuate, and this was just his third with no 4th base down. Means that uThermal is going to be missing out on a lot of gas mining, and this is where it's going to start being difficult for him to kind of stay competitive against his opponent here. Cyclone comes down, locks onto a tank to help out, and that's just the bio units that remain. The Marines get rid of a couple of Vikings in the sky on the northern side of this. And how do you actually chase down the rest of this? Marauders will take down that tank before it gets anything more than 1 shot off. Vikings are landing the... well, Marauders are continuing to take a lot of damage. Marauders go down very quickly, and we'll see uThermal will go down toward the bottom right-hand side of this here. A couple of Marines getting picked off as well. A little bit of bio from Cass stimming forwards too. Sensor Tower also just set up in the middle. Fusion Core finishing up in the main base in just a second. Sensor Tower picked off now as we see those Hellions moving in. They do get themselves an SCV, forces a cancel on this command center. Putting himself right out there in the middle of the map, but down in supply. It's mostly workers. It's almost like he wants to win this game just on the 3 bases. Doesn't seem like he has much intention of making up to 4. He got that +1 vehicle weapon in the end, but it's only going to be that +1. It's not going to be any further upgrades either. It looks like he's really just committed to this attack here now, so let's see if he can make it work. Meanwhile, Cass has expansions around the map, 77 SCVs, 2 upgrades, and he's now building 6 Vikings at a time, so even these Liberators are unlikely going to be able to do too much. That was a nice save on the tank. The Vikings were a little bit late to get the medevac there, and so it does get away with the tank saved. Another couple of tanks seeking up around the right side. Hellions and Hellbats position up. What's up to Muslim? Thank you so much for the host. Hello guys, how you doing? Liberator sieges up, and somehow it isn't on top of that siege tank, so the tank will survive as uThermal continues to press on forwards. Here comes Cass though. He now has what we think is the air control, because there isn't actually any air units at all, any air upgrades at all for uThermal. He's just backing away. His Vikings are taking a lot of damage, and now there's a Liberator that will still remain alive, and that's just going to be, well, unanswered for uThermal. And there's no way he's going to be able to get rid of all these Vikings, is he? I mean, I guess maybe with Cyclones, the Liberator gets rid of 1 more Cyclone right there. But now, I mean, uThermal's going to unsiege, and I think seeing this, boom, Cass just jumps on this opportunity. Here we go. On the left-hand side, he's just going to find siege tanks and nothing else. On the right side, he'll have to push his way through Hellbats. But Cass does seem to have a bit too much. Those +3, +2 upgrades working out for him, and that is Cass to take game number 1. Let's do this. As we start off to the bottom left-hand side of the map, our player who's up 1-0. And if he wins this map, he will win this group. The blue Terran player is Cass. Top right-hand side, the red Terran from Team Liquid is uThermal. What's up, Hamper? How you doing today? Well, have you missed almost everything, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, mate. So last year's the day. We've been live for about 5 hours now. As we're going to be seeing the proxy 2 racks coming in. in the next couple of moments. So, stand up into this. T-Rex coming down. First Reaper coming forward. Sorry, guys. First Reaper coming forwards in Cass. No scouts. He doesn't know about this. uThermal jumps straight in there. Slows down the factory. The double gas opening from Cass will generally do a lot to help out with this. The Reaper backing away just a little bit for the moment. Reaper hops up and we do see a couple of SCVs pulled there. Definitely helps. Oh, he blasts the Reaper to the low ground. That's a little bit funky. With the high ground vision, he can chase that Reaper actually. So the Reaper goes, oh, that's really nice. The SCV on the high ground there made a lot of a huge difference. And uThermal, he's starting to get quite a bit done with a third Reaper showing up. Suddenly 3 Reapers are actually very good at fighting a Hellion. You would be surprised. We're going to be seeing Reaper grenades going down to block some units backwards. And uThermal gets out of there quite nicely so far. 4 SCVs killed. We're going to see, oh, there's the Hellion going down again. 3 Reapers seem to be the magic number to take down Hellions. Like, you just take it down without taking that much serious damage, and he avoids the Reaper shots as well. The grenade placement here was very good. More Reapers on the way out from uThermal. These Reapers spreading out. They're going to be hopping up here in a moment and trying to go straight towards the Hellion. Doesn't quite find it just yet. Still kind of moving up towards the top, spreading out a little bit. That Hellion is in trouble. Hellion goes down. Reaper will go down as well. And this is really nice. Actually, again, multiple Reaper kills here. Really, really good stuff. Wow. I mean, getting all the Reapers. Okay, I guess the Reapers are uThermal in some trouble too. But that Hellion cannot be repaired, I don't think. SCVs aren't close enough, so the Hellion goes down as well. And for uThermal to keep on resetting the unit count here means that you just get so much time where SCVs are running around, not really doing much. Right now, his Reapers aren't really doing much either as he takes a moment to build up a tech lab back at home. That factory has finished. Another Hellion pops out. He gets some shots on it right from the start, though. SCVs will go in for the surround. Reaper grenade. Well, it's too late to really blast away and to get that Hellion kill. Now, Banshee is on the way up here. There comes another Reaper from uThermal. Pulls this first damage Reaper back. Gets the Marine kill now. Another Reaper about to show up. Now it's about to be 2 Hellions, so it feels like Cass really will start to kind of hold on to all of this. But because he's lost so many Hellions, he's had to keep rebuilding Hellions. And while we're going to be seeing Hellions rebuilding, he's never been able to get a tech lab down. He's never been able to go in towards a Cyclone or anything. Whereas across the map, uThermal will have a Cyclone. uThermal deals with this first Banshee well, and he does know it's coming. If he deals with this first Banshee well, he could then bring the Cyclone across the map, and then maybe just end the game right then and there, because there is not a lot set up for Cass right now. As uThermal will lift his barracks, he's done for the moment with harassing with these. Banshee is going to head into the main base, and we are going to have, well, 1 SCV picked off already. Cyclone locks on, and we are going to be having the Banshee. It is going to get taken down. I mean, the scan was just a precaution there in case Cloak was done. The first Banshee is down, and uThermal already going up to a second CC. Drops a third command center. And there's no scaring this man. He knows exactly what's up. We'll see Cass also going into the Magfield Accelerator upgrade. Going to try and improve his own Cyclones and, well, just see what they can do in this game. Yeah, and a few Hellions jumping around up in the main, and do you see the Banshee from Cass continue to move across over the top right-hand side, and Cass still has yet to expand. I'm talking about how many expansions uThermal has. Cass's expansion list as a new Banshee shows up, scan available, boom, locks on straight away, and that's a dead Banshee. 2 Cyclones are just way too strong there. I mean, boom, 2 Banshees dead, and they haven't done anything, which is obviously disastrous. 4 Reapers come in, and you get yourself already a kill on a... oh my god, is he killing the Hellions too? He's going to kill the Hellions! Oh my god. 3 Hellions, 4 Reaper. uThermal just finds every possible trade that goes well for him here. Again, I mean, the second these Cyclones come across the map, Cass is in trouble, and I don't see why uThermal wouldn't. Maybe he's afraid of another Banshee, but why is Cass flying his racks across the map? What is he doing? What? Why would Cass's racks be going across the map? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, well, that's just a mistake, I think. I mean, unless he's just... I mean, even if he wants to play mech, you may as well keep the racks at home or put it here. Like, flying it across the map just means you might lose it, and then you've got to rebuild it to be able to build more factories. Another Banshee pre-scan. Banshee gets shot down almost instantly. No shock, no surprise there. Yet again. He wants the high ground vision for his Cyclones. Really, though? He wants to be the aggressor of all of this? I mean... surely he knows he can't be the aggressor because he's behind on the Cyclone count. I mean, maybe if... I guess that could be the case and it's a real desperation move, but... I mean... that's just crazy. Like, flying the racks all the way across the map at this stage of the game. Because if you... I don't know. I mean, the game was... Let's kick this off to the top right-hand side of our blue Terran player. This is Cass. Unfortunately, now he cannot finish first of the group. uThermal has that locked down with the one map which he has won. But Cass can still fight to finish in second place of the group. Because if Cass wins 2-1, he would be 3-1 and 7-4. And that would be better than TLO, so TLO would finish in third. If Cass loses, he would finish the group in third place. So it's still an important game for Cass to try and finish in second as we get ourselves set up into this. So, getting this going. How's everyone doing out in the chat? How are we all feeling? Hope you're all doing okay. Do 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 do. Couple of Reapers here early game as we get set up on stasis. A bit of an interesting map, not short by distance. Sorry guys, I'm struggling a bit tonight. See the Reapers hopping up. Even trades on the Reapers so far, so neither player can really move forwards to take further advantage of that. Up here from uThermal. Gonna try and do some damage, and same thing across the map here from Cass. He's just a little slow to hop up. Cyclone will lock on and get rid of the first one. Again, the Reaper's dealt with on the other side, and well, nothing all too crazy here. Cass keeps the Reaper alive, but that's pretty much the only difference between the two of them. uThermal is again with these couple of Cyclones just sat here on the natural. Barracks moving out from Cass across the top side, and Cyclone out in the middle. Two Cyclones, so Reaper just gonna sit on the watchtower and again waiting to see what's gonna happen. Macville Accelerator coming up once again, this time from Cass. And there's uThermal. I'm intrigued to see how uThermal plays again. Obviously we got to see a bit of mech versus bio last time. See if we're gonna see a little bit of marine tank on marine tank. It's my favorite kind of TvT, not gonna lie. So if we get mech versus marine tank again, we're actually gonna see mech straight away from Cass here. So he throws down extra factories right away. He's going into a third CC as his uThermal. The players are both very comfortable going up to 3 CC off of the 1-1-1 setup. They feel safe enough to do that. And not even a 1-1-1 though from Cass. He's just barracks and factory, no starport. So uThermal will be looking to take the air control. And taking the air control this early would generally be very suggestive of mech as well. And there you go, a factory coming down from uThermal too. So mech on either side. And that is going to be a difference from what we saw in game 1. This time mech on mech play. Let's do it then. Sounds good to me. Scan coming down each side of the map. Players want to try and identify what they are playing against. Lifted up this tech lab factory to swap into the reactor. Don't think that's quite what he needed to do. As we are going to see them both dropping down, and suddenly we will have the factories where they want to be. Armory's coming in from Cass, though, so he's going to go straight in towards upgrades. His third base in location, his uThermal still yet to move his down, but probably won't be moving it down too much later than Cass will. And there you go, floating it over right about now. So that will work out quite nicely for him as this factory about to finish up from uThermal in the main base. More cyclones on the way out here, and again just seeing a couple of these. Well, there's the tank is moving down to the low ground as well. A couple of these cyclones just setting up too. Nice little passive setup here for the moment then. Nothing all too crazy. So, let's wait to see what's going to be happening. Wait to see what's going on. A few Hellions down to the bottom side. Yeah, from the uThermal going all the way across the map, and they are going to be picking off a Hellion nice and quickly. Fusion core on the way down here at the moment, so that's going to be coming up as, again, just getting this set up and just getting this going. There's an attack on the blue base, I'm sorry. Someone's messaging me about something, and I'm trying to reply while also casting, and I'm not doing a very good job of it because I'm actually very tired tonight, apparently. That's why I don't wake up early. People always ask me, why do you stay up so late? Because if I go to sleep early and wake up early, I'm just a bit tired by the time it comes to casting. Hellion's picking off a couple units down on the bottom side. Scan comes in on the top right. And we've seen again, Armory's coming in from uThermal now, so getting in towards a position where uThermal will go into upgrades, but he's an entire set behind that of Cass, so Cass's army is going to be that much stronger here throughout, as we do see those Hellions and those Cyclones setting up on the left side. Yes, guys, it's a replay. Believe it or not. We've said it so many times. We cast 5 matches live. We cast 5 matches from replays because we play 2 matches at the same time. Yay. You know, I don't understand why people are so bothered by replays all the time. People literally live and die because of games of replays, apparently. Like, it's a replay. If you can't tell, if you didn't know, does it matter? Are you enjoying the game? Like, does it change that much? Like, if you can't tell, and if you don't know the result, and if no one else in the world knows the result to spoil it for you, how can it change that much? People have an obsession with pointing out that things aren't live, that things aren't replays. People literally shout at me sometimes for casting a replay, and it's just so stupid. Like, it blows my fucking mind. It's one of the things that really gets to me about streaming. It's dumb. We do this new format to try and bring you guys more games, because usually a group stage is like 4 players and 6 best of 3s. Instead, we do this style where it's like 10 best of 3s, but we cast some games from replays, so you literally get like double the content, and all people do is complain about it. It's insane. Like, sorry for trying to bring you guys more games than usual. How daring. Yeah. Hellions and tanks moving in from Cass along the top side. Shut up, Wardy. Oh, yeah. Get out. I'm not in the mood. Units gathering up in the center. I mean, the Liberators. I mean, again, uThermal has the air control, but there is a few Cyclones here from Cass. uThermal's actually going to catch a lot of these units. These tanks are just dead. Wow, Cass losing out on quite a lot there, as you see those Hellions backing away. Liberators getting some Cyclones too. I mean, the few Cyclones on the top side do survive as well, and continuing to push forwards. Hellions coming in, Vikings and Libs having a little bit of a fight. As you see, Smart Servers on the way up as well from uThermal. Just getting all of those upgrades. Just can't believe, I mean, again, Cass is just a tight set of upgrades ahead. uThermal was very lazy with his upgrades back in game number 1 as well. Vikings coming in from Cass, and again, did a pretty decent job of this. I didn't realize Cass had so many Vikings. That's actually pretty nice for him, because now he can push back the Liberators, so he does have some congestion to this. So, well, uThermal push back just slightly here. Cass building 4 Vikings at a time. 5 Vikings at a time, though, coming up from uThermal at the moment. Plus 2 vehicle weapons, plus 1 vehicle plating coming in. Ship weapons coming down as well, as it's going to be seeing Hellions coming all the way through the south side. And, looking to see what they can do. Going to move in towards the 5th base here. I mean, there's not too many workers in position. I mean, he gets 5 right away. Obviously, both players feel comfortable enough holding the middle of the map, which basically allows them to take the gold base. So, setting up with this is Hellion, Cyclones, Vikings all coming over to the left-hand side. There's a couple of those Liberators sieging up from uThermal. These Vikings want to try and jump on top of something here, as we do see. Well, Cass taking a few shots, but he has just so many Vikings in comparison to uThermal. And now uThermal starts to realize how serious this is. Makes 5 more Vikings of his own. I mean, he's already making some Vikings. He's getting Cyclones to try and help push it back. But Cass is the one that's controlling the pacing of the game, pushing forward with these siege tanks. uThermal is having a bit of a difficult time pushing this back. And if he loses the gold base, then Cass is going to have, well, not just one expansion up on him, but another as well, because Cass is also expanding bottom right-hand side. I feel like if uThermal loses this gold base, he never really is going to be able to retake this position. It's going to be really difficult, because Cass is already set up here, so uThermal's going to have to make moves that forces this army away and to really give up his position. So uThermal going to go Hail Mary somewhat across the map, because, I mean, losing a gold base is big, and Cass also expanding bottom right. uThermal's falling a little bit far behind, as we do see the Cyclones coming in, locking on this. Liberator gets taken down. The Vikings fighting on both sides of this. The tanks on the high ground, though, doing a pretty good job. And uThermal runs out of siege tanks, so he cannot continue to fight with Cyclones or anything else. And we are going to see the Vikings of Cass just coming in to hunt down those Vikings of uThermal. Couple of tanks left over here. The Liberator will find an opportunity to get rid of some of these. So Liberator comes in. Okay, uThermal has gotten a bit of a moment to maybe get this gold base back up, but then Cass is still on this high ground, so Cass is still able to push back into the center. And the dynamic of this match is so interesting because of just how important this central area is. Again, uThermal will just be denied this base and just won't be able to get it back. And it's so hard for him to get air control back as well, and that's the issue he's really running into here. How is he meant to get air control back when Cass just keeps on pumping out air units? 3 more starports on the way up. Scan coming down in the bottom left as Cass just trying to really figure out where uThermal's at with economy. A couple of Cyclones locking on. 1 Viking down, another taking hits. SCV's out in the center. Plus 2 ship weapons coming in from Cass as well. So he's also going to be even further ahead on these upgrades in the Sky units. I mean, you already had plus 2 plating on these Vikings, which has helped him throughout the fights. Obviously, plus 2 ship weapons is only going to create more of the same. couple of SCVs picked off as siege tanks from uThermal coming all the way through the bottom side of the map. Finally, a fusion core coming up from Cass. It's been a long time without one, but getting into it here as we do see tanks and Vikings all set up, ready to push in against this army of uThermal again. I mean, if the Liberators here, well, let's see what happens. I mean, the Liberators coming forward. I mean, uThermal has to use his Liberators kind of anti-air. Liberators do get some good kills here. The Vikings of uThermal will start to win this one out, I think. Yeah, he will. He will get this one, which means he cleans out the Liberators. A few more Vikings are showing up here, and they're actually going to engage very quickly into this. uThermal does not have Liberators, though, to fight back against this. uThermal also starting to introduce a 4 or 2 into his composition. We do see tanks sieging up and working their way through a whole bunch of SCVs. SCVs taking quite a lot of damage. Scan coming down. I like this from uThermal. A nice little kind of play for a few tanks to finally get something done in a position when he wasn't really doing all so great. It does bring Cass back to his own side of the map for a little bit. And, well, Cass still just moving around all over the place. This tank, if they just siege, will take this planting fortress down. They don't need a siege, apparently. They're just going to go and move into it. I guess now uThermal's weakness is that he doesn't have a ground army. He doesn't seem to have the Liberators to stop this ground army from pushing forwards. So uThermal is having a bit of an issue here. We're going to be seeing those Hellbats under fire, and another Hellbat goes down. Forward command is going to have some issues. 33 SCVs going down. Liberator sieges up. And we're going to be seeing the tanks will eventually here be picked away by uThermal, but obviously he's not going to kill all of them. And still gets a good amount though. But he lost a lot of economy. 36 workers, he loses down by 10 now. He needs to try and repair up this base, but there isn't an SCV nearby. There's one SCV. Repair the orbital. This base down here is in some trouble too. uThermal is just not mining at the moment. That's the issue. Never mind, he's got the workers. They're just not anywhere useful. This base is going to burn down. No, he gets it at the last second. Liberator shows up over here as the SCVs had to pull away again. I guess it is more siege tanks for uThermal to kill. And we'll get both of those. Well, it's going to pull back, but not the case. uThermal still has an army supply lead, all said and done. Vikings will land here again. The issue is, I guess, if you can't actually mine from anywhere, though, that's going to be a big issue. As we're going to be seeing those Vikings being pushed around. Liberator is now going to be sieging up. Siege tank is going to get taken down. So tank falls. And as we see those Liberators continue to just siege up again and again, those Vikings are just going to keep on being chased away. So Vikings in some trouble here. A couple more Liberators sieging up. Cyclones locking on to help out. Some tanks here, though. And uThermal still has the air control, right? So, I mean, he could just siege up on top of this. Here you go. He's going to come forward. He's going to get himself on top of it right now. He'll not be able to get any shots off those tanks and siege pretty fast to back away. Going back up to the high ground. Now we actually see some of these, maybe a bit of an issue for uThermal. These missile turrets will cause some concerns. And make it a bit more difficult for him to push in to use the air control, which is his big advantage in this game. So, a little bit of a tough time. Advanced Ballistics is about to finish up from Cass. Again, Liberators and Vikings through this central position. Cyclone locks on. Hellbat takes a few shots. Vikings and tanks still moving forwards. Liberators just going to come all the way in. These Vikings just not going to be enough